My name is Shubhajit, and today with me is Hemalata. Many carbon compounds are invaluable to us, but here we study the properties of ethanol, ethyl alcohol, and ethanoic acid or acetic acid, which are two essential carbon compounds. Before starting new, we need to recapitulate the last. A group or class of organic compounds related to each other by a general molecular formula constitutes a homologous series. The IUPAC name of any organic compound consists of three parts: root word, prefix, or suffix. Functional group may be defined as an atom or group of atom or reactive part which is responsible for the characteristic properties of the compounds. Ethanoic acid is commonly known as acetic acid and belongs to a group of carboxylic acid. Learning outcomes. At the end of this session, you will be able to understand about preparation of ethanol, physical and chemical properties of ethanol, preparation of ethanoic acid, physical and chemical properties of ethanoic acid, soap, saponification, cleansing action of soap. Keywords are combustion, addition reaction, substitution reaction, ethanol, ethanoic acid, saponification, mucilla. Before starting the session, let's look at this concept map. Let's start with ethanol. Ethanol is prepared on a large scale from ethene by the addition of water vapor to it in the presence of catalysts like phosphorus pentoxide, tungsten oxide at high pressure and temperature. Grains such as corn, wheat and barley are common sources of ethanol. Therefore, it is also called grain alcohol. The process of conversion of starches and sugar to ethyl alcohol is called the fermentation process. Ethanol is a colorless liquid having a pleasant smell and a burning taste. It is a volatile liquid. Its boiling point is 78 degrees Celsius or 351 Kelvin, which is much higher than that of its corresponding alkane, that is ethane. Boiling point equals to 184 Kelvin. It is completely miscible with water in all the proportions. When ethanol is heated with concentrated H2SO4 at 443 Kelvin, it loses a water molecule, that is dehydrated to form ethene. Ethanol reacts with sodium metal to form sodium ethoxide and hydrogen gas. Ethanol is oxidized to ethanoic acid with alkaline potassium permanganate or acidified potassium dichromate. During this reaction, the orange color of K2Cr2O7 changes to green. Therefore, this reaction can be used for the identification of alcohols. The reaction of an alcohol with a carboxylic acid gives a compound having a fruity odor. This compound is also called an ester, and the reaction is called esterification. Ethanol reacts with ethanoic acid in the presence of concentrated H2SO4 to form ethyl ethanoate and ester. When the vapor of ethanol is passed over heated copper used as catalyst at 573 Kelvin, it is dehydrogenated to acetaldehyde. Ethanol is highly inflammable liquid. It burns with oxygen to form carbon dioxide and water. Ethanoic acid or acetic acid is one of the most important members of the carboxylic acid family. Its molecular formula is C2H4O2. Its structural formula you can see on screen. Ethanoic acid is prepared on a large scale by the oxidation of ethanol in the presence of alkaline potassium permanganate or acidified potassium dichromate. Ethanoic acid is a colorless liquid having an unpleasant odor. It is sour. It is miscible with water in all proportions. Its boiling point is higher than the corresponding alcohols, aldehydes and ketones. On cooling, pure ethanoic acid is frozen to form ice-like flakes. They look like glaciers, so it is called glacial acetic acid. Ethanoic acid reacts with active metals like Na, Zn, etc. to liberate hydrogen and form sodium ethanoate. Ethanoic acid reacts with sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate which are weaker bases and liberates CO2 with brisk effervescence. Ethanoic acid reacts with sodium hydroxide to form sodium ethanoate and water. When a sodium salt of ethanoic acid is heated with sodium lime, a solid mixture of 3 parts of NaOH and 1 part of CaO, methane gas is formed. Soap is a sodium or potassium salt of a higher fatty acid like palmitic acid, stearic acid, oleic acid, etc. Soap requires two major raw materials, fat and alkali. The alkali most commonly used in the preparation of soap is sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide. A potassium-based soap creates a more water-soluble product than a sodium-based soap. When fats are treated with sodium hydroxide, sodium salts, fatty acids and glycerol are formed. The sodium salts of these higher fatty acids being soap, the reaction is the soap formation reaction, which is generally called as saponification reaction. A spherical aggregate of soap molecules in water is called mucella. When soap is dissolved in water, it forms a colloidal suspension in which the soap molecules cluster together to form spherical mucella. Suppose that we put dirty cloth in the soap solution. Dirt is mainly greasy matter. A soap molecule contains two chemically distinct parts that interact differently with water. It has one polar end, which is a short head with a carboxylate group COONA, and one non-polar end having a long tail made of the hydrocarbon chain. The polar end is hydrophilic, water-loving in nature, and this end is attracted towards water. The non-polar end is hydrophobic, water-hating in nature, and is attracted towards dirt or oil on the cloth, but not attracted towards water. Thus, the hydrophobic part of the soap molecule traps the dirt, and the hydrophilic part makes the entire molecule soluble in water. When a soap or detergent is dissolved in water, the molecules join together as clusters called mucellus. Their long hydrocarbon chains attach themselves to the oil and dirt. The dirt is thus surrounded by the non-polar end of the soap molecules. The charged carboxylate end of the soap molecules makes the mucilus soluble in water. Thus, the dirt is washed away with the soap. What have you learned today? Ethanoic acid is commonly known as the acetic acid and belongs to a group of carboxylic acids. Acetic acid is present in many fruits and it renders a sour taste to those fruits. Ethanol or ethyl alcohol or simply alcohol is one of the most important members of the family of alcohols. The slow chemical change that take place in complex organic compounds by the actions of enzymes leading to the formation of simple molecules is called fermentation. Soaps are sodium or potassium salts of some long chain carboxylic acids.